Hello, everybody. It is Joe, and welcome back to the Inside Our Phillies podcast. And the Phillies did something as they made a trade for Duran from Minnesota Twins in exchange for Mick Abel and Eduardo Tait. And here to celebrate, I have SJ Phil's fan. How's it going, SJ?
It's going great, Joe. Oh my God, we have a closer who's going to be here for more than half a year.
I can't believe it. I never thought I'd see the day.
Oh my God, I can't put into. I am excited. Not only do we finally have an established closer who will be just the closer, like even though we had Alvarado kind of being the closer like the past year and a half, kinda before he got suspended, but still like him and Hoffman were kind of trading off last year even. So we have a guy who will be the ninth guy. This was just something we've been missing. Analytics be damned, best pitcher, whatever you want. No, we needed a closer and we got one.
Absolutely. Max Lazar just gave up a 3-run home run in what might be his last appearance as a Philly. I don't think it's the first one cut from this bullpen, but this bullpen all of a sudden is starting to look a lot better, right? With Robertson, coming up here soon. You got Duran, who knows if the Phillies are going to be doing something else at the deadline. All of a sudden, I think the light at the end of the tunnel is here with the bullpen.
It definitely. Just like, how does this sound for September? Duran, Kirkering, Robertson, Strom, Alvarado, Banks, Lazar, maybe not anymore, and then Romano, maybe?
Yeah, I guess that's probably what you do. You figure Ross is done, Johnston's gone. The Ron Hells of the world are going to be gone. Robert's going to be we'll see what happens. Especially when you consider that this team's getting Jose Alvarado back in just a couple of weeks at this point. Things are on the up and up for this bullpen.
It's going to be more than a couple of weeks. He can't start rehabbing in the minors pitching until his pitch is up.
I actually think that's not correct. I think he can start rehabbing before the suspension's over. I think.
That's dumb. I mean, I'm happy for it.
I'll look that up, but as it's going on, do you want to just go over some of the Duran stats from the last few years, just to give people an idea of the kind of guy that we're getting?
Yes. The big thing about Duran is he does not give up home runs. Dating back to 2022, he has thrown 233 in 2/3 innings, 292 strikeouts, seventh most among relievers, with an elite 63.2% ground ball rate, which is huge for us considering all of our terrible bullpen acquisitions over the past few years have just given up long ball the moment they got in here. And that's also just because like the peripherals have mostly kind of been home run ball pitchers. Like Ian Kennedy, he was a fly ball pitcher, so it wasn't surprising he started sucking when he got here. So, but Duran has a ground ball machine, strikes guys out, and his win probably added is only third behind Devin Williams and Felix Bautista in that span. And he's thrown 1,284 pitches at or above 100 miles per hour, the most in the majors in the same span. Mason Miller, I guess like a year or so less, has only thrown 119. So we're getting a stud.
Fireballer, absolute fireballer. And quickly on Alvarado, he's eligible to return to the Phillies on the 18th, it looks like, and he's allowed to go on a 15-day assignment to the minor leagues before that. So we're probably seeing Jose Alvarado go in the minor leagues in just a few days here.
Well, I blame my dad for that misinformation.
That's right. Pass it off. But you look at Jhoan Duran's Baseball Savant page, which anybody's not aware what Baseball Savant is, it kind of can break down little aspects of pitchers or hitters, like their whiff rates, their barrel rates, their expected stats, the value of each of their pitches. And Duran's a guy, 99th percentile ground ball percentage. Like you said, he doesn't allow home runs. 99% barrel percentage. He doesn't let balls get hit all that hard. 100th percented fastball velocity, averaging 100.2. I mean, that's just unbelievable to see. I mean, imagine telling somebody, 5 years ago that the Phillies would have a guy in the 100th percentile of fastball velocity, 95th percentile expected ERA, 99% off-speed run value, and 93rd percentile pitching run value. So this is a truly elite closer that is going into the back end of this bullpen, and I think we should all be just overjoyed right now about that aspect of it.
How many years do we have him, Joe?
2 more after this year. So he is going to be a Philly through 2027.
Yes, our acquisition for 2.5 years. Oh my
Pretty.
god, this is just great. I mean, today, like they were reporting, oh, the Phillies aren't just gonna move on. They're gonna move on to Griffin Jacks, maybe, just because they want Painter. And so it's just imagine a year ago, I told you we got Duran for Tait and Abel. That's by the what is your reaction to that a year ago?
Well, Abel last year was not worth much at all, and Tait's value has also gone up a lot over this last year. So we're selling high on some guys. A year ago, this wouldn't have been anywhere close to enough.
Exactly. And how I feel like we've sold low in the past recent years. Like we've held on too long.
Yeah, I mean, when I always think of that, I think of Spencer Howard, right? When we sold Spencer Howard, he had almost no value left. When sold a couple years before then, he probably would have gone for big time stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the right combination of getting good young pit. He's still young for our young prospects, but realistically, the way I like to look at this is it's mostly tight for Duran. Abel is a right-handed pitcher. Duran's a right-handed pitcher. We're exchanging those. I would take Duran over Abel anytime of the day. And to get something of value, you have to give something a good prospect. And we gave up only another one prospect, in my opinion, for Duran. This is how I like to rationalize it to make it seem like a steal for us.
Yeah, no, I think that to get anything on Abel at this point is something that we should be grateful for. A year ago, we were close to even considering him a non-prospect, and he really did a great job this year in Lehigh Valley and a little bit in the Phillies, working his way back into being a top 100 prospect and being able to be part of this trade. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Tait is going to be the person that decides who won this trade if you're somebody that believes the trades can be won. Because Tait, there's questions about if he can stick at catcher. If Tait sticks at catcher, he all of a sudden is going to be the best offensive catcher in the league for, probably at least 6 years. The bat is incredible. 80 grade power out of a catcher is not something you ever see. But there's a big chance that he doesn't stick at catcher. And, at the same time, he's very young. He just got promoted up to high A. So he's far away from the majors, and there's so much that can happen that I'm okay trading Tait.
Yeah, that's my thought. Tait's far enough away where he wasn't going to come in next year with JT expiring. So we were still going to, if JT doesn't stay, we were still going to need another catcher no matter what. It wasn't going to pay Tait. So this changes nothing in the short or near term future, honestly.
Yeah, pretty much. I think you're spot on with that. The one thing I will say is I still wish that the Phillies were going after offense instead of pitching. I mean, I'm looking right now when we're about to lose a series to the White Sox because this team can't score runs. But given that it seemed that the Phillies were more interested in pitching, I'm pretty happy with this deal. And there's still time for something else to happen, too.
Yeah, there's just, like reports the Phillies are moving on from Robert from the White Sox, but he has 3 hits today. He's been hitting this whole series. He's been pretty good. I would like to get him, and I hope we do.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a lot of trades around the league today, haven't we? I mean, especially with the Mets. The Mets have made some real improvements. I mean, when you go back to starting a few days ago when they traded for Gregory Soto, the Mets have a completely different bullpen. And I think that the Phillies really, really, really have to consider they have to do something else. Because the Mets now, they've added Ryan Helsley. They've added Gregory Soto. The Mets have added Tyler Rogers. They paid a lot for Tyler Rogers, but they got Tyler Rogers. This is all of a sudden going to turn into a little bit of an arms race here in the National League East.
Yeah, and I wonder if the Helsley price went up the moment Duran was traded, and that's why the trade happened so soon after, and the Mets just did whatever they could to pull the trigger as fast as they can.
Yeah, supply and demand, right? And it is rumored that the Mets are still looking for a bat. Their best beat writer, Anthony DiComo, said that. So you figure the Mets are probably not done yet, and I hope the Phillies aren't either.
Yeah, I mean, just hopefully with this good trade value we've gotten with the Twins, hopefully we can get Bader for a good price.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we saw it a couple of years ago with the Angels that Phillies made multiple transactions with the Angels on the trade deadline. Obviously, that was the year that the Phillies got Brandon Marsh, and I believe we got Syndergaard from the Angels as well that year. 2 separate transactions.
It was Moniak for Syndergaard and then Ohapi for Marsh. And so Ohapi, another power hitting catching prospect who's now looking iffy because he might be able to stick a catcher and his bat does not play anywhere else.
Yeah, that's a great point. The catchers are fickle because if somebody sticks at catcher, their value just is tremendous, right? Like sticking at catcher is just such a valuable thing to do. But when you all of a sudden you can't catch anymore and you have to go to first base or DH or whatever, all of a sudden it becomes a lot less dubious if you can, really be a tenable major league player. That's where I'm at on Taiit. I believe that he is going to be a good player still, but the Phillies also got a really good player in this trade.
Yeah, and also if you're a really, really good bat as a catcher, they moved you off catcher. Bryce Harper was drafted as a catcher.
Yeah. Seth Johnson, by the way, just gave up another 3-run home run to the White Sox as the White Sox take a 9-2 lead over the Phillies.
Get out of here with your negative vibes, Joe. We're celebrating Duran. The series means nothing now.
I've watched multiple 3-run home runs since we got on this call. So, I mean, these guys aren't going to be on the team in a few days. So, that doesn't matter. But losing a series to the White Sox better light a fire under Dave Dombrowski's butt to just make some more moves.
To give them credit, they have been hot since the All-Star break.
They're the White Sox.
Hey, I'm usually the one with the bad vibes here. Do not take that from me.
No, you're right. You're spot on. What else do you have about Jhoan Duran? What you think the Phillies are going to do for the rest of this trade deadline? Where are you at?
I'm expecting a bat. Like, come on, Dave, get us the bat, and then hopefully, and I'm just like hoping can we get Taylor Rogers from the Pirates? He was just acquired in the Hayes trade with the Reds, and they have no use for him. He shouldn't cost that much.
Why was he traded for nothing, and then his brother was traded for 3 actual guys from the Mets?
It's like it had to be the contract offset for the year is the only thing I could think of. But
so
the
weird.
The Pirates keeper makes no sense. So if we could get him or Santana now, that shouldn't cost. We don't need Bednar anymore. So we could get someone with lesser decent bullpen arms. That'd be great. So I'm expecting hopefully one more bullpen arm and then an impact bat or at least a bench right-handed bat outfielder that can hit.
Absolutely. You figure, I know it's been reported a lot that at least Justin Crawford is going to be up after the trade deadline if he is not traded. So I don't view somebody coming up for the minor leagues as a trade deadline acquisition, and that's a lot of pressure to put on Justin Crawford. But at the end of the day, I'm really just excited that the Phillies are going to be looking a little bit different. I think things have felt a little stale for a lot of fans this year and maybe last year too. And this is a real change to the core of this team and getting Duran to be the new closer. And I'm just excited to feel like I'm watching something a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Duran's energy could be a boost to this clubhouse. And the other day, he trolled the whole baseball media by hugging his teammates as a troll, making it seem like he got traded.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty funny. And also, how interesting is it that all of these trades are happening today, the day before the deadline? I feel like we've had so much activity tonight that it makes me wonder what else they can do tomorrow. But we'll see. There's so much time left. Things can change so quickly.
Yes, I have one last question for you.
Okay.
All right. Papelbon's record with the Phillies is 123 saves, and that was done in 3.5 years. Can he beat that in the 2.5 years?
No. I mean, at that point, you're at a 50 save a year pace, right? Because you got about a third of this year left, and, figure 17 plus 50 plus 50, and that still doesn't get you there. And, it's hard for me to bet on back-to-back 50 save seasons for a guy. But I think he'll get to 100. I put the over-under at probably 95.5, I think is what I'll do.
Well, hopefully they get extended him and he's here for the rest of his career. He doesn't get hurt, and he breaks the record, and oh my God.
Hopefully. I mean, he's still young. He's still really, really young, 27 years old. So, his contract is going to expire after his age 29 season, and relievers, can be good for a while after that. So, sure, why not?
Exactly. Let's do this. I can't wait. Hopefully we record another podcast tomorrow, because otherwise that means we did nothing.
Hopefully, or maybe even tonight. I was asleep when this trade happened because I just passed out from exhaustion, and I woke up several hours after I fell asleep, apparently, and saw that this trade happened, which was great. And you bet that I will probably be up all night now, keeping up what's going on the hot stove. So hopefully we have you back soon, SJ.
Yep. All right, see you guys later.
Yes, have a good one, everyone. Hope you're as excited about this one as we are. And we'll talk to you real soon. Don't worry about the Phillies losing to the White Sox again.